Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Chris and today I'm talking about this new horror anthology movie called Monsters in the Closet. This is directed by the Snygg Brothers. Snygg Brothers. Damn it. The Snygg Brothers, how could I forget? And this is a low budget horror anthology with kind of an interesting premise wraparound thing. So Monsters in the Closet is about a horror author who's essentially, when he tells his stories, they come to life. It's a little bit more complicated within that because the main character is this author's daughter and she hacks into his computer and there's just lots of stuff goes down. I'll just say that some hijinks ensues, but essentially you got four short stories and then the wraparound. So like I said, this is very low budget. It seems like the brothers Snygg, I think they pretty much probably did everything with this. They directed most of the stories, they wrote most of them, did camera work, stuff like that. So it definitely feels like, you know, a very small crew bringing this together. And I've said this before about like low budget movies. I think anthologies are a good idea if you're a low budget filmmaker and you want to make something like feature length, because one of the hardest things about a feature-length movie is maintaining the momentum if you are not filming the entire thing at once. If you're going to film a feature over the course of a year, it's really hard because people become motivated and interested in a project, but that quickly fades if you're not making a lot of progress with the project. So it's going to be hard to get the crew back, get the actors back and stuff like that when it's shot all throughout the year. So with an anthology movie, you can essentially break that all up and say, hey, we're making this short this weekend or this week. And then a couple months from now, we'll make the next one. And then when you compile them all together, bingo, bango, bongo, that's not a saying, I don't know why I said that, you have a feature-length movie. So, it's all right. There's a lot of things, production-wise in this that aren't always great. There's a lot of effort put into a lot of these shorts, and there's some interesting ideas throughout. Not everything lands. I think it's not going to work for an audience who is accustomed to a certain level of production value, because this is certainly of the very, very low end. And so with that, you have some shoddy effects, some not so great shots, some pretty poor audio occasionally, very bad acting often, and the writing is hit or miss. Like I said, I think some of the premises are really interesting in some of the writing, not so much in execution on the stories. So you have the first story is called, I'm not looking it up, I just need to check my phone because I have an important text message about stuff. Anyways, not that important. The first story is called Please Kill Me Again, and it's about a woman who is basically turning into a zombie and doesn't quite realize it at first, and you get this first-person perspective of it, and you hear her thoughts in her head while she's turning into this monster. So it's kind of a fun idea. Like I said, the premises in this thing, pretty good. I think for the most part, it works. There's definitely a comedic element to all these things that doesn't always land for me. It's kind of like this quirkiness to it that's just not funny, sometimes cringy. And this first-person perspective thing that they did with this, they kind of break their own rule a lot of times, it feels like. So sometimes they're just outside of the first person perspective, and it's a little weird because it's supposed to be from the mind of this zombie and view from this zombie. So when they break their own rule, it's a little jarring, a little frustrating. I think for the most part, it's a pretty fun little short. Not gonna blow you away, but I like the idea, and I think if the humor would have hit better for me, I would have liked it a lot more. Some of the gore effects and stuff are okay. There's some cool ideas here. You could do worse. You could do worse. We then have a short called Home Improvement about a family. Then we have a short called Home Improvement, and I'm not talking about Tool Time. Is that what he did? I forget what he did. That's it. Nailed it. Damn, I should be Tool Time Jr. up in here. Anyways, I digress. So this is about a couple who recently purchased a house and they're doing home improvements, and then they kind of go mad and start murdering each other. Hijinks ensue. It was a little rough. I think there's a lot of effort put into all these actual shorts, Just the problem with it is the acting's not very good, and again, the humor really didn't work. It comes off as cringy to me a lot. Unfortunately, the premise isn't that great either. Like, I'm not even quite sure I understand like what the idea they're going for is, whether just they're becoming overwhelmed with the madness of fixing up their house, or what the point is they're getting at and what leads them to become murderous. But it's kind of like this downward spiral of their psyche. And British, a little bit of British in here. I don't know if the other ones were British, but the one woman had a very strong British accent, so I thought maybe this one was shot in the land of Britain, but I'm not sure. So the next one we have is the 1%ers, and this might be my least favorite of all of them. About a young woman who's very rich, and her dad's a 1%er, and she goes on a camping trip with her boyfriend and friends, and then accidentally commits a murder, and then spirals out of control. Some hijinks ensue. It's all kind of pointless. Like, I guess it's supposed to be like a criticism or a parody or some sort of satire on 1%ers and how they don't care about people and blah, 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 can buy their way out of everything. Although it never really hits with that theme very hard by the end. The end is confusing, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's really shoddily made. Some pretty bad sound design, some really bad shots. The acting's not great again, and by the end, I'm not quite sure I understood the little wrap-up that they did with the main character. I didn't really enjoy this one. Not that great. I'm not gonna lie, not that great. I don't have anything else to say about it. And then the final one is called Frankenstein's Wife, which I enjoyed the premise of this one. It's kind of exactly what it sounds like. This mad scientist murders his wife by accident and keeps resurrecting her, and then they have this relationship throughout, but it's all very humorous. And it has its moments, and it's very zany and comical. Again, not all the comedy works here, but I think the premise was pretty funny, and if the jokes would have been better, I think it could have really worked, because I think the lead Frankenstein actor did a great job, and the woman who played his wife, not that bad. There's a lot of effort put into this one with the production design, like the setting and the props and everything. I think they really tried, and for the most part, it's not that bad of an outing. So that's kind of where I'm at with this whole thing. It's all very all right. It never really has like super high highs. It does have some low lows though, and all anthologies are inconsistent for the most part. You know, some are always better than others within the movie itself. But for this, nothing really ever rises to like, oh, that was really good. Nothing sticks out as being especially worth your time. But then again, I didn't think anything was particularly that bad either. There's certainly some moments of very poor production value, and I think a general audience is going to be very unforgiving of those and probably say this is a very bad movie. I don't think it's that bad. And I think the brothers Snygg, is that what they're called? God damn it, I can't remember any fucking thing. I just never remember anything. By the way, I'm getting a text message and not looking anything up right now. The Snygg Brothers, maybe if they had a bit more resources or time or money or something, with a little bit more polish on this, could make something really special. I think their ideas, their premises are really good. I think the execution and where their stories go doesn't always quite land, but I think there's some promise and what's the word I'm looking for? Potential for them to do something really cool. So Monsters in the Closet, it's out now. If you've seen it, let me know what you think, and I will catch you here next time, guys. Goodbye. Hey guys, it's Chris. I know some of you already have a heads up over the others because you've already liked the video and subscribed to the channel. To me, it's like a no-brainer. Like, why wouldn't you do that? So like the video, subscribe to the channel, helps us out. Catch you here later, guys. Goodbye.